I've heard very good stories about visiting Singapore, and I finally got the chance to visit Singapore. Now, regarding making the visa application, I did apply for an e-visa. I went to the embassy in Lagos and I was given the requirements for obtaining the visa. I'm going to list out that requirement here on the screen so you would understand, what you need to obtain a visa. Now, the requirements that actually made it a bit difficult for me to apply personally was that I required a referral from Singapore, or in a case where I did not have a referral, then I was required to go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to obtain, a reference letter for them. Now, I did go to the ministry, just to find out so I could also share this experience with you. I went to the ministry, and when I went to the ministry, they told me they don't issue such letters. And then I'm like, okay, the embassy says we should come to you. So if you're not issuing that letter, why are you not telling them? Why do they keep, let them know so that they can cross that out as a requirement? And so that set me back because I did not know anyone in Singapore. I had reached out. A friend actually gave me a contact. He had visited Singapore for a conference, and then the tour company that actually that he used, I sent that tour company an email. They never responded. And so what I did was that I had to look for an alternative. So my alternative connected me, someone referred me and then connected me to a contact, a tour company in Singapore. And then they told me I had to pay a premium. They told me, okay, they could get the visa for me, but of course they wanted to know what I do, that I'm a genuine tourist, and that it was also important that I'm in the travel business. And so, the tourism part actually helped. I think that was like an added advantage. And then they processed my visa, but they said they weren't just going to process the visa. Of course, for them it's business, that they had to make it, they had to prepare like a package, like a travel package for me. And of course, that came with, that didn't come cheap. I paid a premium, they had to book my hotel, and then they had to organize a tour. And then also it would involve the airport pickup and drop off. And so I went with that service and I paid for it. My visa came out in about, I think it was 2 to 3 days. It didn't take long, but I now had to confirm, my firm up on my itinerary, and then that was it. So that's how I obtained the visa. I did not do it personally. I had to contact a company in Singapore and then have them refer me and then, apply for the visa on my behalf. It was the e-visa. And then once I landed at the airport, I did not really need to present a paper copy. Singapore is like the future. So immigration lines, when I came in, it was important for me to have my yellow fever card. So by the time I tried to, because everyone just scanned their passport, it's, easy process and then just goes through. But in my own case, because they needed to verify that I had a yellow fever card, when I tried to pass through the second gate, the e-gate, I was told to see an immigration officer, which I did. So they just requested for my yellow fever card, and then I was let into the country. And so I want to show you what I did in Singapore. Now, Singapore is the future. The first day I did the botanic gardens. Now, the botanic gardens is something that you need to see. Normally, if you're someone who you're into nature, into greenery, I am someone who loves nature. Like in my personal space at home, I do have a lot of potted plants. Like I live in my house with plants and I keep replacing them. Some of them because we just keep trying to see which plants, survive indoors or not. So I always have to replace them. I have some that have been loyal, but I also have others that have not been as loyal as the rest of them. So I get to change them often. So I love being around plants. In my room, I do have plants. I do have plants. There are plants that exude, oxygen 24/7. I love to have those plants around my living space. It's important for my well-being. They're plants that purify the home. So I generally love nature. And also I'm from the southern part of Nigeria, which is really green and lush. So Singapore for me, just brought back good memories. Of course, I know they're very intentional about how they're, living their life, how they choose to, very intentional about sustainability. I love that for them, and I think that's the reason why you should visit Singapore. And another thing is the food. My God, the blend of some of the finest Asian cuisines, you would find it in Singapore. Now, when people say, oh, limit your trip to Singapore to 4 days, well, on the financial part of it, maybe they do that. Maybe they say that because the city is expensive. Yes, hotels are expensive, but that doesn't mean you cannot find cheaper places. But the places you would want to be, that you would find maybe like in other countries, it would be affordable. In Singapore, it's slightly, it is expensive, and it's nice, because I stayed in a hotel, in one of the hotel chains that I stick with, and then it was nice. Yes, it was pricey compared to other destinations, but it was clean and nice. The city is clean, it is very nice, the people are friendly, and you will love interacting with them. The English is widely spoken, so they're very engaging, and because they speak clear English, and then they are knowledgeable, so you can discuss issues from politics, to culture, to food, to education, to just about anything. So I loved having conversations with the people. I found them really interesting and really engaging, and I think that's a reason why you should visit Singapore. So I'm just going to show you some of the things that I did. We're going to go through it, and then I hope that you would visit Singapore someday. And then remember, I told you so. So I'm in the cloud forest, and it is one of the best things I've ever seen. I want you to look at my back. Like, this is absolutely amazing. I'm going all the way to the top. I just got here. That's the entrance, and you're gonna see me all the way there. Let's go.